welcome to CLK Creates. I'm CLK, Candace Kitchen, and here is where I talk about my crafting adventures, usually knitting, quilting, cross stitch, and more. I'd like to say thank you and welcome to my new subscribers. There are a few of you, which is fantastic, and I'd like to give you a great, giant, big welcome to those, or thank you, to those that have come back. So, hello, it's been a while and I'm out of practice. And I said, no matter what, I'm doing this podcast today because I'm running out of time. I still have all my allergy issues. I'm fighting a little bit of a headache right now, so I'm trying to ignore it. As mothers do, we ignore all that stuff. But anyhow, so I'm going to look down a lot because I wrote extensive notes for myself because I didn't want to forget because it has been a while. I'm sure I missed stuff, but it's all good. I'll catch up with you later. Anyhow, so the last time I recorded was July 30th, so it was just before I was going to be going to see my family, with my family, to see family in Nova Scotia. And especially my Nan. So I got to spend a lot of time with her. She's doing great. I got lots of hugs, so that was the most important part. Lots of Nan hugs, and yeah, I miss her a lot, but we had fun. We had a lot of just one-on-one time and hanging out and chatting, and it was great. But while I was there, my Aunt Heather had her quilts displayed at the Dalhousie Art Gallery in Halifax. And it's part of the Secret Codes. Here's the little banner, education guide. So part of the Secret Codes, African Nova Scotian quilts curated by David Woods. So the underground quilts, if you don't know the history, they used to have signs that had kind of quilt block. Well, they've made it in the quilt box, but it was these signs to tell people on their way in the underground trying to get their freedom, which places were safe and which direction to go, and instructions that way through visual pictures. So there's quilts out, our quilt designs called Underground Railroad Quilts. So my Aunt Heather did one, and I'll put a picture here. And it was 4 generations that worked on it. So it was my Aunt Heather, her granddaughter, her son, and my Nan all worked on this actual quilt. So 4 generations worked on it, and it's great. My Nan hand quilted it. Taylor, the granddaughter, did some of the piecing and put it together, as well as my Aunt Heather, and then my cousin, which is my Aunt Heather's son, he put the label on, Robbie. Sorry, I had to cut out and blow my nose. Oh, allergies. I'm telling you, I'm so done. I'm so ready for the cold weather, so I don't have this to deal with. I don't know, this year I haven't been this bad since my early 20s, and trust me, that was a long time ago. So anyhow, continuing on. So yeah, so my aunt had done an underground quilt, so there's different quilts like that on display, and utilitarian quilts and stuff like that. And then my aunt and other quilters that are part of the Vale Quilters of New Glasgow. Vale Quilters of New Glasgow. Slow down, Candace. What they do is they recreate sketches and art from an artist called David Woods. His name is David Woods, and it's life in the African Nova Scotian communities and just different things that they do. So I'm gonna put a little slideshow of some of my aunt's pictures, and then after that I'll put a couple, as I'm talking right now, of other quilts and art that was there for the exhibit. So I took a few pictures here. So one great thing, I'm not sure about all the art, I don't know if it's the full exhibit, but I know the quilts that my Aunt Heather had done and the Veil Quilters are going to be on like a traveling exhibit, and it will be in Toronto, Ontario. I don't know the dates or anything yet, but it will be soonish, and I will keep you all posted because yeah, I'll definitely go and make a whole thing of it when I go as well, and I'll bring a bunch of my friends. I'll probably go multiple times. My aunt will come down, so yeah, we'll spend some time together. So yeah, it was a really great show. Scary day traveling though. It was crazy torrential rains in Nova Scotia that day. Like, it was a river flowing beside us in the ditch on the highways. It was nuts. It was nuts. Part of it wasn't the Bedford flood, but they got a little bit more. But there was some in certain little areas in and around Halifax. It was the heaviest around Halifax. My nan's was okay. But yeah, it was a really great show and I enjoyed it. So thanks, Aunt Heather, for taking me. And yeah, so I will keep you posted when it's here in Ontario. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. So quilt behind me. So this quilt is called Yin and Yang by Daniela Stout. I don't think I need it. No, there we go. So that's the quilt pattern. So when my Aunt Heather would come to visit, my mom and I we'd go shopping. We'd go to, you know, a bunch of quilt stores for my Aunt Heather and I, because we both quilted. My mom, she appreciated it, but she never enjoyed doing anything like that. So yeah, so we were in a quilt shop. Can't even remember where we got it. Anyhow, my mom loved the sample and they had kits for it. So I said, well, if you buy the kit, I will make it for you. So I did. I made it for her. And it's all with batik fabrics. The kit came with everything. You can't really see it, but there we go. That's the border. It didn't come with the backing. I just found a wide back in a nice kind of tan. She liked the tans and taupes and black accents. So I can put this down now. So yeah, so I made it for her, and you know, since she's passed, any of the quilts I made, I took them back. But yeah, I had it quilted with just a swirl. I find with it being so linear and straight lines that the circles in the quilting really counteracts with that. So yeah, so it came out really good. It's a queen size quilt, all made with batiks, and it was part of the kit. So I couldn't even, well, batiks don't have names, they're just batiks. But yeah, it was a really fun one to make for her. Not very difficult at all. This essentially is the block you make over and over again. So you do one with the color on the outside and the cream on the inside, and then the other one with the cream on the outside and the dark on the inside, or the colored in the inside. And you just flip them around and put them how you like and sew it on the diagonal. So super easy. Really didn't even have to be concerned with points meeting. A little bit, but it all worked out. It looks great. So we've had this on our guest bed for a while, which I've now gotten rid of, but getting a new one. But yeah, so I love this quilt. So this was Mom's quilt. It was on her bed a bit, and she took it off because the sun was starting to fade another quilt. So she's like, I'm not putting it on there. Okay. Anyhow, so really, really happy with how it turned out. But that's the quilt behind me for today. All right, so what I should be wearing, and I could have worn it, but I'm not, and I'll just tell you why. So is my Faded Frenzy by Andrea Yetman. And I was using that slub yarn. If you remember, that's all I have left. It's pretty good. So I was using Wool Interrupted, and it was a slub yarn. So that's the brand. and there was no color name or anything. So it's 85% superwash merino with 15% white colored Nepps. So it came out great. I'll put a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And as you can see, the sleeves seem to be laying nice, and like kind of how like my t-shirt is, right? When I have this on, this is it. That's it finished. You're getting a funny color. It's looking purpley, but it's not. It's burgundy and grays. I love how it turned out. I've worn it once just so I can show everybody at the store. But my sleeves, because you don't change the needle size, it's too pointy and sticky out. I don't like it. I don't like the sleeves, but everything else I love. So what I'm going to do, remember when I did it with my vest, my Fair Isle vest, it flared and buckled a little bit. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. I'm going to take in here, do a little crochet stitch all the way around the edge, skipping, you know, one every, I don't know, maybe every fourth stitch. And then, you know, just go around and cinch it in just a little bit. So I'll keep you posted on how that turns out. That won't be till I get back. But I'm really happy with how it came out. This lays really nice and just, it rolls ever so slightly, but it's a nice comfortable neckline when I have it on. Here, actually, I'll show you how it flares out over my t-shirt. Okay, see? It sits nice up here. I like that when I have nothing else underneath. And then see how it's, look, I don't like that. I can't handle that. I don't know. Maybe I made it a size too big. I'm not sure, but I'm not taking it apart. So that's what I'm going to do. See how it's not, I don't like that. So anyhow, needless to say, I'm going to fix that, or try to anyways, with the crochet little cinching in method. Yeah, these Nepps keep coming off, but only for the first little while. Probably after I wash it a couple of times, they won't come off anymore. I got one on my eyelash. But a finished object, so that's always nice. Happy about that. But, sorry. But yeah, I'll do that cinch method and I'll let you know how it all works out, because it's nice, very light. I think too, like my friend Leah, and she had done the same pattern, so that's why I knew about that pattern. It's a free pattern, by the way, Faded Frenzy by Andrea Yetman. She used a plumper yarn, so she used Midnight Cravings, and it's a plump, nice yarn. So her sleeves didn't do that, and did the same size as I did and all that jazz. So it could just be that my yarn isn't as bouncy as the Mid-Knit, right? It had the cotton nubs, and yeah, I think that has something to do with it. It's a different makeup of the yarn, and that's why it's flouncing like that. So I'm going to try and fix it with my little scrap piece of of yarn. I think I put it over there, and it's plenty to do what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. Fingers crossed, right? Because I want to wear it. I will wear it. I'll figure out something. So on that note, we're going to get to finishes. So I'm going to try and I'll probably talk fast because that's just who I am. But this way it won't be so long because I have lots to tell you. So anyhow, so last time I told you how I was working on my, I'm going to mess this up, Buggifloor beanie by Alison Rendall. So this is the Shetland Wool Week 2023 design hat for Wool Week this year, which, as you know, I've said it multiple times, I'm going to. So Mine is done with Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift, and here it is. I love how it came out. Look, it's blocked and ready. Look at that top. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So I'll tell you the colors that I used. Bring it up a little closer. One lady, when I posted it, she said these remind her of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that's hilarious and I love it. I see it. I see what she's saying. So these are all the yarns that I used for my hat. And I'll give you a quick color names. They'll be listed below as well, but just in case. So gray, 122 granite. The black is 999 black. Eesh. I'll put them in here so then they're out of the way. 258 peacock. Whoops. I just took them straight out of the bag. See, that has a little bit more green into it than what it's showing. It's showing more blue, but it's more greeny blue, like peacock. Yeah, it's funny how these colors and screens and all that stuff react. Peacock, Scotch broom. The number was 1160, Scotch broom. Like Scotch tape. That's nice. And I don't have a tag for it, but green 259, green leprechaun. That's a nice pop. I like that one. I have lots left over to do stuff with, which is fantastic. And then last but not least is 323 cardinal. Isn't that a gorgeous red? It's gorgeous. So this yarn is very toothy. Great for color work. Here, let's see if I can get it on. Show you. I guess it'll have to have some hair come down because it's a beanie. Yeah. Covers my ears, keeps me all nice and warm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy how it turned out. So I have 2 hats for Shetland Wool Week. Oh my goodness. Okay. I won't do that anymore. I'm really pleased how it came out though. Fantastic. And my raincoat, I bought a raincoat that went to mid-thigh for the trip because Shetland can be quite wet. Edinburgh too. And I got black, so this will go lovely with it. And I'm getting a vest, should be delivered soon, also in black, so I can wear whatever I want and it'll go nicely. And now the piece de resistance for finishes is my cockatoo bray. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. So let me finish buttoning up these ones. So I didn't do a button band or buttonholes on my button band. What I did was I put on some ribbon and put snaps. So, because I'll always wear it closed. So that's kind of how it turned out with the ribbon. So I thought it went really nice with it. And they just snap with these clear snaps. Nice and easy. There you go. Dun, 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 dun. That's the front. And here's the back. And I got it all done. Steeked and everything. I posted on my Instagram kind of different stages of it and a little reel. So if you want to go to I Can Sew Make That on Instagram, you can see it. But yeah, I showed kind of before when I reinforced my stitches. Before I steeked, you can't really see it right now. There, that's the reinforced stitches there. I did the crochet reinforcement and then I cut, and I wasn't nervous when I cut because it was reinforced. I was good to go. This is my 3rd steeked item, so I'm not usually afraid. It's just knitting. I'll start over somehow. if a mistake happened, but I just take my time and go through it. But this is going to be awesome. I tried it on. It fits great. It's a very toothy yarn. So I will always have something long sleeve, you know, this part covered up here, because you feel it. It's like, but I was very worried when I had to do these bands and here. So here they wanted you to do 8 rows. I only did 6. This one they wanted you to do 12, and because I wasn't putting buttons, I only did 8 because I was worried. I had 1 ball left. So I ended up with leftover. I was surprised. I wasn't sure I was going to end up with leftovers. I thought I was going to have to take apart my swatch in the round. I thought I was going to have to take that apart and continue on, but I ended up with some left over, so yay. But oh, I love how it came out. So the yarn that I used is exactly from the kit. So this is the picture. So Kate Davies is the designer, so I did exactly what is in the picture, the colors. So yeah, you can just go into the pattern and they're all in there. So I have quite a bit left over of all the other ones. And then little scrap bits of the brown. So yeah, I was really worried for a bit, but I got lots left over and super pleased with how it turned out. So as far as my, for sure, Shetland knits that I'm taking are my 2 hats. I showed you the hat from a while ago. It's grays and greens and blues. This one. And my vest, my Fair Isle vest that I had made before. So I'm sure I'll find some other, I have to plan. I don't know what I'm taking, but oh, I'm so happy it's done. So happy. So pleased. Anyways, enough about that. So that's another finish. So I have one other sort of finish to show you. So when I was going to Nova Scotia, I told you how I can't read or do anything. I can't knit and do a pattern. I can knit in the round while we're driving. Anything else kind of makes me nauseous. So I worked on my husband and son's sock snake. So this long sock snake will be two pairs of socks, one for my husband and one for my son. So the snake is all done. I used up all the yarn, and it's by Rico Design, Superba Supi Dupi, color 004. So that's the label, and that's the sock. So it micro striped the whole way around. It looks so cool. So when I do I'm doing afterthought everything. So afterthought cuff, toe, and heel. So for my son, I'm using black, which is color 400. So his cuff, toe, and heel will be black because he wears a lot of black. So that's what he picked. And my husband's will be this blue, which is color 107 in Drops Fabel, just as a contrast. I was going to do gray, but I thought, nah, let's do blue. So yeah, so these will be, and I won't get started on this until I get back, but these will be a pair of socks for each of them. Yeah, shorty socks, but socks, right? So very happy with that. I should put that in the bag before I lose stitches. I left the one part live because I can do the toe on one of them, or yeah, I'll probably do the toe as opposed to the cuff. We'll see. Anyhow, so that's almost done. The snake is done. Now it's just all the cutting and stuff. So it doesn't take me too long. But yeah, I'm super happy about that. I gotta remeasure. I think my records for my son Avery's feet is when he was a little bit younger. So his foot has grown quite a bit since I made him socks last. So I had to measure his foot and work that all out. So yeah, so very pleased about that. And now we'll talk about whips. I'm like talking really fast. I'm sorry. Slow me down. I think you can do that. On these things, you can do video faster or slower. You might want to slow me down. Anyways, so when I was talking to you last for my trip for Nova Scotia, I was bringing my Surrey shirt. So I have gotten it, the front done and the back done, and joined at the underarms to go in the round. So it was nice, easy knitting while I was traveling. So I got pretty far while I was away, and then I worked on it some more here. But what we have is the front, other than the neckband, all done. So here I have, it's a split hem. So, and it's kind of cropped, so it's, you know, from that length. So now I'm working on the back ribbing. So let me hold it still for you. Here, hold it back. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. So this is the back. So I've got it cast on and started. I'm in mid-row. Usually I don't do that, but I have yet another injury. When I was playing baseball, I just swung the bat and hit the ball and ran to first. And when I did that, I felt a bing right here on my hand. So I don't know if you can see kind of right there. Turns out, it's been over 2 weeks now. Turns out I have a ganglion cyst that kind of came out, and now it's pushing on the nerve. So to do ribbing, I can only do back and forth maybe 2 or 3 times. So this is really slowed down, unfortunately, but I love the color. So it's this beautiful coral. The yarn is Barocco Vintage Sock in color 12077. I wish they put names. Names are way more fun than numbers. But yeah, so this is a fingering weight yarn. And this is going to be a great summer top. I'll wear it with like a white dress or white capris underneath, or even denim. Oh yeah, I'm going to get a lot of wear out of that one. So I think, here, I'll put here what it's going to look like. And I'll be making a number 2 of that. And I'll show you that soon when I show you yarn that I purchased. So yeah, so that is well on its way, but I'm not taking that with me to Scotland. So I'm still trying to think what I'm going to be taking, but definitely not that one. Okay, so this one's a long explanation, so buckle it. Okay, so my friend Caroline and her team at Evertote, they're hosting a Sampler September make-along, okay? So they sell, Evertote sells project bags for both cross-stitch and knitters and the like, as well as cross-stitch patterns and Roxy Floss Co Floss. Roxy Floss Co Floss. There, that sounded better. By Carrie. Sorry. So the whole premise of this brainchild of Caroline's was to have 4 Canadian small business women owners all contribute to this event. So Evertote is the gatherer of all of the things from these different women, as well as they are the makers of the bags. So, you know, you purchase and do all the things through Evertote, and they are the makers of the bags. The floss is dyed by Carrie, and she's Roxy Floss Co, and she does the hand dyeing for the floss for the cross-stitch kits according to the design and the designer of the design, which is called September's Revenge. and it's by Alan Reed from Maximum Cross Stitch. So I'll have all that information down below, where you can get it, blah, 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 all that fun stuff, because you can still acquire it and get any of these. But then taking the floss pack and sent it to Heather, my friend Heather from Timber Yarns, who does self-striping sock yarn. And I think I explained this all before last time because I had the skeins. And she dyed perfectly the sock yarn to match the floss. So it's a whole September sampler kind of thing. And she named her sock, twin socks, Stripetember. Stripetember socks. So, with that all being said, here is mine. I got my socks started, and this is the yarn. I'm obviously going to start the cream bit after the purple, but this is the yarn in the 2 cakes, and I'm knitting mine toe up, 2 at a time, magic loop. So I am now started on the purple section and making some really good headway. But again, my hand. So this definitely is going with me to Scotland so that I can be stitching it there and get her done. And also to say that my socks made it all the way to Scotland. But yeah, isn't that incredible? So I'm going to leave these out just on the side so that we can show you the floss with the actual sock. It's pretty incredible. So this is one of the project bags that came with the kit from Evertote. Whoops. And I'll show you where I got to. So the pattern, do that down here so you can't see. So the pattern is Maximum Cross Stitch, and it's called September's Revenge, and that's what it looks like. Isn't it great? So you could get this from Caroline hard copy and with the floss and all that. If you just wanted the pattern, you can go directly to maximumcrossstitch.com and you can order a PDF, purchase a PDF from her. So these are the flosses. So see, and then I only have some of the colors done up, but you can see how, look at that green, it's perfect. That blue, it's perfect. That purple that's just popping up now is just like that purple. Can you see that? Go a little closer. Heather did a fantastic job, as well as Carrie, because look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous? Yeah, my floss is a mess, but that's fine. I don't care. Still works. But here is where I am on that. So one of the ladies on the Friday Off the Grid Facebook page, she had changed it. It should have been silver, the door. See, it's like a gray door. And she changed it to the yellow, same as kind of what's in the flowers and stuff. Mustard, Colonel Mustard, I think it's called. And yeah, Colonel Mustard. So I loved it. So she inspired me and I did the same thing. So have a good start. Unfortunately, I will not be taking this with me to Scotland, so I will not finish. The whole idea is to finish this in the month of September. So Caroline's doing sort of daily videos, maybe every 2 days or so, of her progress, but she is showing it on her Instagram at Evertote, and every day, and she's trying to do it so that she gets it done by the end of September. But I won't, because it's too hard to have to, I don't want to lug special lighting and all that kind of stuff when I'm in Scotland. And when I'm there, I'm going to be, you know, hiking during the day when I'm not at classes. Like, it's going to be busy. Oh, I didn't tell you what my fabric was. So my fabric, so Roxy Floss Co. Floss, called for the pattern, all called for. And my fabric is from Atomic Fibres Linen 32 count in weathered stone. So it's got a slight modeling. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better there if I turn it this way. But yeah, so really happy. It's a nice, relaxing project, actually. It's moving right along. I'm happy with it. My hands aren't too bothered by it. Well, my hand. But yeah, so it's a fabulous little event, and watching everybody else post their progress. Shiloh from X Stitch MD, she's showing her daily progress on the project as well. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to finishing these timber yarn. They're socks. Oh, they feel like a joy to knit, but they feel so soft and so nice, and they're going to be nice on my feet. I have a Christmas pair going as well. They're a little further along than this one, but yeah, that will definitely be going with me to Scotland. So I told you I was doing it 2 at a time. Yeah, I got that. All right, cross stitch. I'm just looking at my notes now. I probably should have done that beforehand. So okay, we got it. All right, so while I was in Nova Scotia, the day I went to Dalhousie Art Gallery with my Aunt Heather, we had gone to my friend's yarn shop, Leo, the Violet Unicorn, and she is located in Fisherman's Cove, just outside of Halifax. And I went to visit her, get some hugs. Here's a picture of us. She takes better selfies than me. Doesn't she have the best smile? And it's really sweet. Like, it's a quaint little shop. Hers is painted purple because she loves purple. And all the shops are all painted a different color. They're all different styles. Like, one has ice cream, another one has tourist kind of items, clothing. There was a bakery. She had the yarn shop. There was a jewelry place. Some of them were unfortunately closed that day because where they live, they had flooding due to all that rain. So we didn't get to go into those, but it was still really, really awesome. So I'm going to show you a couple little pictures and video of what that looks like. And so yeah, so she's on Fisherman's Cove. She's the owner, and her shop is adorable and quaint, like I said. And then her customers and regulars, there was a few of them in there for sit in it, and they were a hoot. They were so much fun. We were there for a lot longer than I thought, so thank you for making us all feel so super welcome. That's her bag there with her Violet Unicorn. And bust out the purchases. So this is her here. That's her card, a Violet Unicorn. Leanne, she's a wonderful person. So she does classes. She does weaving classes, sock knitting classes, just general. So if you go on her website and you live in that area, or you know you're going to be having a visit down there, you should look into it. She does even art. She closes it up and does like art painting classes and felting, and she does a lot of fun stuff. So definitely check her out if you can. And yeah, so on that note, when I went there, I wanted to get something that was locally hand dyed there. Nothing I could get up here, sort of thing. So one of her main hand dyers is, her name is Andrea, and her company is Elegantly Twisted Yarns. So the first one I got was a Tweedy sock, and it's called Island Blue. Oh, see, there's more green in that. It's not showing up quite exactly how it is. It's definitely more green like that peacock, like I was telling you. But it is so nice. And it's got those little Nepps again, but not as many. And yeah, so these will be socks for me. Why not? And then the other one, which cracks me up, same hand dyer, and it's called She's Some Saucy. And it's this red and gray with purple. Definitely a down home saying. Oh, she's some saucy. And of course my Aunt Heather was with me, so I'm not saying anything. She's some saucy. So that'll be a pair of socks for me as well. Someday. I don't know when. And then last but not least, I picked up these stitch stoppers. You see them everywhere now. And it's the Fox and Pine by Fox and Pine. And it's these cute little monsters. Aren't they cute? They were just so adorable. I had to have them. So now I showed them I can use them. Yay! I'll put them in the different bag. So also while I was there, so like I showed you the video, so we walked down the whole boardwalk. I think there's about, I want to say 10 to 12 shops maybe. Yeah, something like that. All different colors. It's so cute, so quaint. What a fabulous little place. And on the show Sullivan's Crossing, they filmed there and they went past my French store, the Violet Unicorn. So I saw it. I watched the show and I saw it and I'm like, there's Leanne's store. So anyhow, like I said, they have different kind of shops along the boardwalk and they had an art gallery. So the Fisherman's Cove Gallery, and that's their little bit of information. And I picked up 2 prints and a card, all by the same designer, or artist, I mean. So this is their card for the Fisherman Cove's Gallery. So they have multiple artists displayed there and selling different prints and originals, different media, like painting, but it could be like acrylic or watercolor, or it could be line drawing with ink, and so kind of that idea. And oh, it was fantastic. So I gravitated to this one designer. His name was, or is, Edward Wedler. Actually, his card's right back here. That's his card. And you can see his website as well if you wanted to go direct. But I purchased this one. And it's a print of a watercoloring that he's done. No, they don't have names. Prospect Cove. This one's Prospect Cove. And then this one. Isn't that, oh, just so relaxing. Just even looking at it. So, and then he had a watercolor card, which I'll frame. I'm not going to give it as a card, of all the different shops, a few of the different shops, not all of them, at Fisherman's Cove. And that's exactly how they look. So this purple one is my friend's Violet Unicorn shop right here. Yeah. So I'll try and go a little closer and not shake. That's impossible. Anyways, isn't that, I love this. So it's a great memory, keepsake for me. So eventually, when Michael's has their silly frame sales, I will get frames for that. This is just standard framing. And yeah, frame them and put them somewhere in my house. I don't know where, but I really like them. They spoke to me. So but definitely worth a visit. You know, I showed you in the pictures and video, like on the other side facing the shops is the actual cove. There is the place. It's called Fisherman's Cove. It's not because of the stores. And it's just really pretty there. Unfortunately, it was the off and on spitty rain, so we didn't get to go walk down around towards the Pebbled Beach area, which would have been really nice. So next time. It was unfortunate for our weather, but for the most part, we had no rain while we were shopping the boardwalk. It just started misting when we left. But yeah, so head on over, go to Nova Scotia. It's great. All right, so yesterday, which was September 9th, I went to the Kitchener-Waterloo Fibre Festival, or Fall Fair Festival. I'm not sure what they call it. I'll put their little logo here. And of course, I forgot to take any pictures or any videos because I'm totally out of practice, and I'm still trying to look at the camera because I've been looking at myself too much, but I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at the camera. But yeah, totally out of practice. So I got no footage, none whatsoever, because it turned out to be a very social event for me. I'd walk around, see someone I know, walk around, see someone I know. So it was a lot of fun. I filled my bucket. Yeah, I had a lovely customer who told me that she had purchased my circular needle holder and told me all the positive and lovely things she loves about it. And so that was really nice. I'll talk about that kind of stuff in a minute. Actually, I'll talk about it now. So I was there socializing as opposed to vending. Unbeknownst the confusion with Kelly. She's so sweet. Kelly from Knits and Pieces announced that I was going to be there, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be there. And then, so we got that all cleared up. But anyhow, she had showed I had donated to their podcast circular needle holder to give off as a prize, and so she showed that. So anyhow, I have none currently in my shop, and because I'm leaving for Scotland next week, there will not be any until closer to the end of October. So just wanted to put that out there. But it was so sweet of her, and you know, I wasn't vending, but I was there. Kelly, thank you. Kelly and Noelle, they're super sweet. Noelle will be out in my old province very soon. So yeah, she's touring around in the East Coast. But anyhow, I got to chat more than I got to shop, which was perfectly fine because I'm leaving soon. And we had a fantastic time. It was my friend Anne's birthday, so happy birthday, Anne. It was yesterday, the exact day that we were there, so we had a lot of fun. So I didn't buy too much, and I knew for sure I was going in to buy one specific thing, and that was from Debbie at The Loving Path. I wanted her Merlin. This yarn is so drapey. My friend has made a Surrey shirt out of this, and it's lovely, and I'm probably going to do the same. This is a one-of-a-kind color, and it's 90% superwash merino, 10% linen. Look at that fun color. It's like a deep chocolate brown with grays and tans. It's really nice. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to casting this on. This obviously won't happen until I get back, but very drapey, and yeah, I love it. I think it's gonna look great with so many things. So I purchased that. That was one of my only purchases. But then I headed over and, you know, did the tour of everything, and I went to, well, this is how it's packaged, Muster pattern. So that's their little sticker. I don't know if she put a card in here. Nope. So I had purchased these cute little needle minders, and they're mushrooms. I don't know. The minute I saw them, I gravitated, and I'm like, I gotta have those. This measuring gauge. So it's a measuring gauge and a yarn gauge. So say, for example, I have a ball of just whatever, and I'm not sure what it is. This down here, so if you wrap it around that and fill it, you know that it's lace. You just put the piece of yarn there and you'll know what weight, or get a basic idea of what weight it actually is. And it works because my friend Anne had bought it when she was at Kawartha, and I tested it all out when she showed us at the shop. I was like, why didn't you tell me that was there? I wanted one. So anyhow, I went on her website and there wasn't any at the time after the show. So I thought, okay, I'll get it later. I'm not in a huge rush. And anyhow, so she had it at the show at the Kitchener-Waterloo Fiber Festival, and I picked mine up. So I have that now, which will go into my knitting bag as soon as I'm done here. Knitting Notion bag. And then these ones are row counters. So, yeah, I'll hold this up so you can read kind of how you use it. So it's a chain of numbered wood things, and see, so it tells you what row you're on at your beginning of round. So you just put the loop in, and then where it hangs, say I put the loop in here, then I'd know I'm on row 8. Or just, you know, working on row 8. And you just, the next one, when you come around, row 9. And you just bump it up and you know which row you're actually on as you're knitting. So yeah, my friend Karen, aka Zippy, she had these, and Anne actually. And I was like, oh, I like those too. Why didn't you tell me before you left? Anyway, so I picked them up this time. So very pleased with my purchases there. They also had a fashion show. Kitchener-Waterloo usually does a fashion show, which is always nice. I enjoy those, so that was fun. There's one pattern on there that I'm probably gonna maybe make, so we'll see. I'll get to that later, much later. But to my surprise, so they have door prizes. They announce the whole time you're there. And I never win at those things, and I actually won. I couldn't believe it. They said my name, Candace Kitchen. Oh my gosh. And I had a couple of booth friends that were all around. Everyone's like, ah! It was kind of crazy. So it was nice. So when you went to go pick up your said prize, what they did was they had items on the table that you would just pick from. And I picked the Marled Barbie World bundle from my friend at Timber Yarns. So it's got a Barbie stitch, those stitch stoppers. Barbie, I should just take it all out. Okay, I'm sorry for the crinkle. Let me find the easiest spot. Quick, quick, quick. Sorry. Done. There. Okay, so here's the Barbie stitch stoppers. So Barbie logo, sweet. Put that for my bag. Yummy double truffle hot chocolate. Whoosh, that's gonna be sweet. I'll give that a go. I might have to share it with my kids. I don't do so sweet anymore like that. Timber yarn, so it's called Marled Barbie World. That's gonna be great. Oh, it feels so good. Feels so good. And then I got 2 sock minis, so Marled Neon Pink and Marled Middle Blue. So that came with it. So I don't know that I'd use it with this. I think I'd save this for something else and just use black as my accent, or just go straight up with the whole sock. But yay! Thank you, Heather. Even though I won it, but I went over and I showed her. I said, look what I won. Oh, it was so great seeing her. I got a very big hug from her, and it just fills your bucket, right? Fills your bucket when you see great friends, and yeah, it feels really good. So we had a fantastic day. We went for dinner afterwards, and then I drove. I was the chauffeur, and then dropped everybody home, and then came home and rested for a bit and did a little bit of knitting. So that was our day yesterday. So But Anne said she had a great day on her birthday and spending it with us crazy bunch. We had lots of giggles, let me tell you. Lots of giggles. So this week will be prep week for me for my trip. We leave on September 18th, and we're back October 5th. So, yeah. So on a side note, like I was saying, if you are going to do any purchases from my website, which is icansewmakethat.com, whatever you put in your cart will stay in your cart. You do not have to worry, but I will not be shipping anything out until I get back, and that will probably be closer to the 7th and 8th, because I know when I come back from across the pond, jet lag hits me hard more coming home. Like, well, I'm brutal. So, and I know it's been years since I've been over that way, but I know even when I was younger, it knocked me down. Not sick, but just tired, very tired. So it takes me a bit to get used to this standard time. So, but if you purchase anything, it will stay in there, and I will send it as soon as I can when I get back. Right now, what I'm trying to do is try and plan what knits I'm taking that I'll pack to wear. So I know for sure the vest, the colorwork vest, the kookaburra, and my 2 hats. Like, those are givens. But, you know, you want to save room in your suitcase and stuff. So I haven't really, this week I will be, well, probably tomorrow, I'm going to get my suitcases out and ready and start loading things in and then fine tune it from there. Because, yeah, it's on my brain all the time right now. And then also what to bring to work on. So, for sure the sock, the Stripetember sock from Timber Yarn. I'm definitely taking that. I'm thinking, I have a test knit that I'm doing for my very good friend, so I will definitely be taking that as well, and I can't show you right now, so there's nothing really to show you. I'm on the ribbing. And using yarn from Montreal that I bought in Montreal at Knit City, so happy to be doing that. I did cast on my Terra Nova with my Montreal yarn from The Loving Path, her DK Tweed, I think it's called. Anyhow, I'll show all that next time. Again, my hand, this injury, I'd be trying to do the short rows and I get pain like right there. So I go tomorrow for physio to see what's up with that. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what yarn I'm taking. I know I purchased the, for Shetland Wool Week, they do an annual kind of booklet where they have patterns, usually 8 patterns, I think, of different things like fingerless mitts, hats, sweaters, vests, you name it, shawls, it's in there, all with kind of a Shetland heritage kind of idea. So my plan is when I get that, I'm going to pick one of the patterns. There's either a sweater or a vest I'm very keen on. And when we're there, we're going to end up at the yarn shop, Jamieson and Smith, and also Jamieson, Shetland, Spindrift. We'll end up at both, and I will buy yarn for a Shetland pattern from Shetland Wool Week. So everything will be Shetland regarding those items from the annual, the book. So I'm very excited about that. So I will probably be able to start that pretty quick, and we'll want to. So, so yeah, again, see how my brain is going? I don't know what I'm going to bring with me because I don't want to be stuck without. But I'll always buy, and I'll bring my needles and blah, blah, blah. So it's all good. It'll work out fine. But beyond that, I'm very excited. I think what I'm going to try and do, so that's not so much when I come back, is I think I'm going to try and do vlog style videos while I'm in Scotland, and like, you know, group 2-3 days together and then post it while I'm there where I can get good Wi-Fi, and try and do that so it's not a lot when I come back and sit with you again like I am here. But yeah, it's hard for me because I tend to live in the moment, like KW, Kitchener-Waterloo Festival. I didn't even pull out my phone, not once. Not once. So anyhow, I'm sorry, but I'll try and get back into it, but I'm gonna try and do that, so we'll see how it goes. But other than that, my friends, that pretty much wraps it up. No point in me rambling and in my stuffy voice. Let's just hope and pray that this goes away soon. Like, it was getting a little cooler and it seemed a little bit better. And then, bam, we got our hot, muggy weather back again, and it just blew this up again. So, because I was going to do this last weekend. And again, family stuff kind of intervened on the early part of the weekend. And then when I was going to do it on the Monday, there was no way I was going to be able to do that. So, anyhow, yeah. Fall. Here comes fall. I love fall. Fall is my favorite season of all. But I am rambling now. So thank you so much for joining me. Watch on my Instagram for I Can Sew Make That. I will definitely be posting a lot there. That and my Facebook for both pages, so that you can see what I get up to when I'm over across the pond. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it and can't wait to experience it and tell you all about it. So anyhow, on that note, take care, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.